Lights out and let's go racing, folks, and it's a very even start from the entire field.
There's a freight train forming behind him right now. He will be as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. I can give you the hot tip. Sideways as a bishop on a chessboard. That was incredible car control.
Going for a bit of an ambitious dive now, and oh, there's contact! Here they come now, around the final turn on the final lap. They're side by side.
Oh, there's contact there. Someone is going to be hitting the showers early tonight, I'll tell you what.
Crosses the line for P1. Brilliant racing, absolutely sensational stuff.
This is heart pounding. This is nerves rising. This is Simsational TV.
This week, the Wednesday Cup jumps from the fishing holes in Lake Ontario to the rolling forest terrain of Rakkestad in Norway, where these drivers will face the technically demanding circuit of Rudskogen. 3.2 kilometres of unforgiving tarmac starts with an uphill run to turn 1, which very quickly switches to the opposite direction of the sweeper that is turn 2 before a steep downhill run into the challenging middle sector. Sector 2 requires precision, bravery, and feather-light inputs to ensure these Holden Geminis dance their way through the winding S's. The final sector is all about big braking zones and getting good exits to line up overtakes before the final sweeper of turn 14. These 3 races of this grueling circuit coming right up tonight, and it's all live here on Simsational TV.
Oh, yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, animals of all ages, it is time to get set in for another edition here of the ever epic Wednesday Cup. And it is a good evening to everyone out there in viewership land. My name is Zach O'Reilly, and in the comms box tonight with me is one Peter Clark calling all the action here tonight, qualifying race 1, race 2, and race 3, all coming your way here. And it's a pleasure to be here with the big man who can bench press 4 silverback gorillas with one arm and 4 of his girlfriends on the other. It is Mr. Peter Clark here in the box, mate. How are you, and what are we expecting here tonight?
I am expecting chaos tonight, and it is going to be very interesting to see how these drivers go along. We like to say these drivers are pretty much professionals when it comes to the sim racing world. I once thought I was in that realm, but this track always gave me a hard time. It was definitely one that kind of escaped me to master.
Well, speaking of the track, this is where we are. It's round 6, and we're at Misano, ladies and gentlemen. 16 turns, 4.2 kilometres of hardcore racing action coming your way. And it is, as always, a 8-minute qualifying session coming in hot, ready to go. 15-minute race 1, 16-minute race 2 with a top 8 reverse grid, and then a 7-8-minute with a top 12 reverse grid. Also, Brendan Hack was the man setting the fastest times in practice, and he is still doing that here in that session by only about 1/10. Actually, he's got pipped by the big man, Fabian Fitness, but none of them could beat their own pole position times there. And Pete, I'm telling you, it is getting absolutely scary here in the standings. Have a look at that for a list there and how tight it is.
It is getting very tight. We thought last season came down to the wire, but have a look at this. With only 2 rounds left to go, this is the penultimate round. It is a tie for the lead of the championship, and Andrew Ferguson's also only a few points behind. So it's Fitness ahead of Brendan Hack, then Ferguson, then you've got Hayden Wallace a little bit further behind, and Johnny Ostrop rounding out your top 5. But from 5th down to 8th, it's also incredibly tight. Only 12 points separate 5th to 8th. So let's get that having a look at. And then it is Thomas Marzella and Paul Buttigieg rounding out your top 10 in this incredibly tight championship.
It's going to be unbelievable. It is one man who has started to find some form here, and he's found the front row for the qualifying session. It is 8 minutes coming our way, and that is one Andrew Ferguson right there on your screen. He's ready to go, he's ready to fire, but everyone else has jumped him and he's actually gone. Thank goodness for that. He nearly didn't get the clear air that he needed and that clear bit of trackage, but he's out. Andrew Ferguson sitting third in the championship. He's trying to spoil the party here, Pete, of one Fabian Fitness and Brendan Hack, both on equal points. As you just said, it's big time stuff here now for these boys. They need to get hot on the collar and on the trot here and to set some good times, because 7 minutes around here, by the time they get to the infamous turn 16 onto the front straightaway, they're only going to have probably about 4 or 5 hot laps here.
Yeah, it's not going to be very many attempts at all. Ruin one lap and you may as well, depending on where you ruin it, especially around here, you could also be throwing away your next one too. So you have to be very careful, but at the same time, sending it as hard as you can, because it's very much one of those circuits where a big risk is rewarded massively around here. So they've got to be absolutely on it, and do not discount a couple of the key players in this field tonight.
No, do not. There will be Fabian Fitness. There will be Brendan Hackster there in 7th place so far, just rounding out their racing lines as well. And don't count out this man, the Birdman, in the Aldinger carpet and flooring livery. He can be a feisty customer too at the best of times. And Benny Hines has injected himself back in, Pete. He has been flying in the last couple of events he's had a podium/race win in the last 3 rounds he's participated in. Can you do it here for a 4th?
Yeah, it is. He has been on some great form recently. His last race win was in round 4. But as you said, he has been racking up the podiums left, right and centre so far this season, and he is proven to be a very consistent driver so far this season. Does find himself in amongst the championship battle at the moment, sitting in 6th position, just only 105 points adrift in the championship. And in this championship, he is not out of this one as of yet. He is still very much well in play if anyone in front of him has an absolute shocker of a round.
Yep, and it's going to be interesting to see if that comes to fruition, because this man here on your screen, the lyrical gangster, Des Murata, as we like to call him, is the man who can spoil a party at the best of times here. Wedding Crashers style, this man. It's his favourite movie, we've been told on the wires, and he does that at the best of times too. So what can he do? What can the chef do? And oh my goodness, I haven't got his livery on the screen. He's in a white car. What is going on there? But Tommy Corks, however, his livery is looking strong, fine and ready to go. That chrome outfit there just looks sensational. It is literally like the old McLarens back in the day. Formula One style, missing the black, but geez, that's a good looking car. Looks fantastic. It goes around the field. He's also a quick customer too in this one. Is it going to be this guy's night tonight? Is he going to get a top 10, Sam Bensley? He is Mr. ARD importing himself, the Zamp Man, as we like to call him. And this man definitely knows how to set a car up, go driving, get himself back out there and go for it at the best of times. But he is on charge here tonight, get himself into a P1. But it's going to be this man here, Peter, who's going to take the first lap, if that was not a track cut here, but a lap on board with Andrew Ferguson coming right up, right here from Misano, courtesy of Peter Clark.
Yes, it is a very, very tricky first corner, because as I said, it very quickly switches back into the other direction, and then once more another switch back in direction change as well. So you've got to be on it. You've got to have a car that's nice and pointy, and you've got to be confident with the turn that you've got available in your car. And you can see him working in that steering wheel to try and make sure he can get it through all of these turns, and massive heap of opposite lock on the exit of turn 6 now. So now he's got a little bit of a breather. Now he can gather himself up, forget about what just happened in that last corner. But now this is really tricky, because it's slightly cambered this corner, and it is a big braking zone into turn 8. Use a little bit of the track on the exit, but you don't want to use too much of it, because then you have to work your way back across to the other side of the track into this. Once again, another very tricky braking zone, because you have to trail brake going into the corner. You're trying to turn into the corner while braking, and as anyone would know, that is a very difficult task to do in any car around any sort of circuit. And now this is a pretty flat out section. Will he be doing any sorts of lifts? I've seen some people, especially in the practice session, doing a little bit of a safety lifter, but it looks very safely flat out through there. And then once again, do not exceed the track limits through there. It's very easy to do so, very easy to get a little bit over ambitious through 13. That's turn 14, and now through 15. How is this one going to play out? It's a short shoot now into the final corner of turn 16, and when we jumped on board, we saw him get all out wide, misses the apex just by millimeters, and he uses a bit of grass for good measure as he crosses the line to set a good benchmark lap time here. How is this one going to go for him? It's not an improvement.
No, not an improvement. It's still now one Benny Hines, who has topped the charts there. Beautiful move there by Benny. He's got himself into P1, a 36 triple five there, in fact. Top Fabian Fitness, who thought he had that all sewn up and delivered already with 2.5 minutes just about left to go in this session. But it is that man on your screen leading this qualifying session. He's right behind Clint Olive there as well, who's holding him up at a rate of knots. So we'll get off him. What's Fabian Fitness doing here in the TK livery, Team Kiwi Racing? Good stuff, that is. That's a good livery back from the V8 Supercar inspired days. He's 3/10 off, so he's got a bit of work to do. Hackster's also got some work to do here too, and so does Andrew Ferguson. Hackster here has set the timing tower on the line in the first lap, basically the first sector of his lap. I'm trying to speak here properly, but nothing in sector 2. So he's on for a little bit of work to be done, because Corks has just gone bang into 4 with a 37 dead thereabouts. So he's on the charge here. 2 minutes to go here in qualifying. It is very, very close here for the top 3. The rest of them are all sort of petered out, just a fraction, ladies and gentlemen, but it is nothing to shy about. You can see how quickly these boyos are going in the grand scheme of things. There's your lap times, 36.5, 36.9, 37.0, and it's 37.0s for 3rd and 4th here, Pete. This is looking spicy for the rest of this session.
It is looking very spicy indeed, because all it takes is just one good corner where you can find a 10th or 2, and you could jump yourself up a couple of positions in the timings. And when we consider reverse grid races coming up later on in this broadcast, that could play massive. So this qualifying session is going to be absolutely huge for all of these drivers. They want to try and plan out their races for maximum point scoring opportunity, especially with a championship as close as we've currently got. So this is really the crucial time for drivers to start putting in laps. How's Paul Buttigieg going to go? Because he's crept himself now inside the top 10 of the championship. That was an improvement for himself, but he stays top 10 in qualifying.
Yeah, good lap there from Paulie. He's got himself out there, the 63-year-old, and put himself in the top 10. What else has anyone got in the way of answers? Fabian Fitness did answer on the last lap. He got within a 10th and a half there of Benny Hines out in front. He set a purple sector 1. Sector 2 is looking a bit tardy here at the moment, so he's going to have to perform miracles here if he's going to take over Benny Hines' place. Ben is right now here coming into, I think that's turn 7 on 8 section, and he is on a charge. He's got purple and green micro sectors. Hasn't lit up the overall timing there, but don't worry, this could be a little bit of faint indignation there for the timing tower on the Delta board. What's Hackster got here in answers? He's got little micro sectors going on as well. Corksy is setting a personal best in sector 1, but he's weaving those tyres around. He's done for this session. Has Fergo got some opportunity to do something? He has. He's rounding the final 4 corners of Misano here. He's got 2 green sectors under his belt in sector 1 and 2. Sector 3 is also on track here. This could be an improvement for him. At 37.4 is what Andrew Ferguson has to beat here. He's got 1 corner to navigate here. Can he do it in pure driving style? He's used all the curb and a bit more oversteer on exit, but he's banging it to the line there. Into the bunda he goes. Is this going to be an improvement? It is. At 37.2 into 5th place he goes. Fitness is done. Benny Hines has still got his lap involved. Is he going to be able to improve? No, he doesn't. 37 dead for him, so he has taken qualifying here. Unless the Lyrical Gangster's got anything to say, it does not. Unfortunately, that was a little bit, or it was his improvement, but it did not count. He got the track cut, ladies and gentlemen, 37.2. That could have bumped him up into 5th place and stolen the Andrew Ferguson party. Last at the death, one Alex McEwen involves himself into the chat, comes in, yes, says, yep, I'm going to put myself, and up into 7th place he goes. Minimal track time for that man, and a good performance there, but it is one Benny Hines taking out qualifying here, Pete. That is a good little showing from the big man, and he will round out race 1 here off the front row. 15 minutes coming in hot.
Yep, that is exactly right, and he's put himself in prime time position now to try and go for another race win this season. Could race 1 prove to be his third race win of this season? We'll have to find out very shortly, but he has got some very big names around him as well for company.
He does indeed, and it's going to be very, very spicy indeed, ladies and gentlemen. That man takes first blood. One race is coming up, then we've got 2 more after it. And if he wins this one, he's going to be into 8th place for the next race of race 2. So still some work to do. It's not easy going out there. I can give you the hot tip, and this guy will be on song. Good looking car. Good looking livery as well, and a very good looking rooster on the outside, I've been told. But enough of that nonsense, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get out of there. See them all stream past, and we're going to get set for qualifying. Yeah, set for race 1. Goodness me, I'm on fire tonight. Here at Wednesday Cup, you know what to do. Get those condiments refilled, get yourself settled in, and strap yourselves right back in the armchair for race 1 coming up after a couple of words from our sponsors.
Motorsport isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. And when performance matters, you need gear you can trust. That's where ARD Importing comes in. ARD Importing brings world-class racing brands straight to New Zealand, supplying real racers, real teams, and real enthusiasts with proven performance products around the globe. We're talking JRP racing components, ZAMP helmets and safety gear you can rely on the track, Red Cat Racing for high-performance RC action, and intimate brake pads for serious stopping power when it counts most. Keep your engine protected with renewable lubricants, premium oils designed for extreme performance and durability. Turn up the volume with wicked audio, delivering powerful sound whenever the road or track takes you. And gear up with Spartan products built for durability, comfort, and race day durability. Whether you're racing dirt, asphalt, or chasing lap times from home, ARD Importing has you covered. Sim racers as well, listen up, ladies and gentlemen, because ARD New Zealand is your importing source for all of Camus Racing sim gear. Precision wheels, professional grade pedals, immersive feedback that puts you right in the driver's seat. Train harder, race smarter, and feel every corner. From real-world racing to the virtual grid, ardimporting.co.New Zealand connects you with elite brands trusted by racers worldwide.
Oh, yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Race 1 coming your way here shortly. Just under 2 minutes until the checkered flag is not going to be waved. The green flag will be waved, in fact. And that means it is this man off the front row, Benny Hines. Nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs with this guy because he has got a very quick customer right next to him, Fabian Fitness, who lines up off second. Third place goes to Brendan Hack. Fourth is Tommy Corks in that beautiful chrome livery there. Fifth for Andrew Ferguson. Sixth place is the lyrical gangster Desmerada. Birdman Crowther in seventh place. Eighth goes to one Alex McEwen. How far is he going to climb through the grid? And ninth is Anthony Laurent and Neville Turblanche there in 10th place. Pete, we've got Olive, Buttigieg, Wallace, Marzella, Chef Bro, Bensley, Zaya, Baker, and Barber round out the whole grid. Are we tipping a Hines win here, Pete, or what are we going with here?
I think he is a very solid shout if you're to put some money on it, but it is very tough to say with some of the guys that he has got around him. Fabian Fitness, race winner this season. Brendan Hack won 2 of the races last time out in Motorsports. So he has got very, very quick drivers and drivers in form around of him as well. So it's a bit too tight to say, I reckon.
Well, Pete's saying it's too tight. What about the chat out there? Get yourselves involved in it. Give us your predictions here for race 1. It's going to be a domination sensation from one Benny Hines and Fabian Fitness, or can the Hackster, Corks and Fergo just come through and take some bravery and gutso in the first place, but then just, cut a bit of foreskin off each of these boys and see what they can do for this one. But it's business end now. This is where the throttle starts to raise. Benny Hines is already on it. He's ready to rock and roll. We've got 6 lights to go. 4 left, 3, 2, 1. And the lights are about to go. And we are a go here in Wednesday Cup. It is Benny Hines who has got a good launch off the line. Fabian Fitness is right behind him as well. So this is a good little tussle here by these two because Fabian's going for it. And in the background as well, we've also got the Hackster and Corks going line astern there too. Fergo's even got Tommy Corks around the outside. That's filing right behind them is Birdman and Desmerada as well. This is a good little opening stanza here by these boys, but Tommy Cork comes out okay out of it. No misdemeanors going on so far into turns 1, 2. This is 3 to navigate. All checking up. There goes Gangster up the inside there, just trying to Uzi himself back into this one. Crowther's gone back down. He's fallen out of this one because McEwen's got past him. Now these boys are racing hammer and tong. This is interesting to see what we can do here between Hackster and Tommy Corks. Corks now is looking very racy indeed. Tries to go up the inside. Won't have that move done into the sweeping hairpin. And the boys have got around very cool, calm and collected at the moment. Nice stuff. Hackster's ran wide. There goes Tommy Corks though. He's going to have an opportunity to try to park girl him around the outside here for the opening lap. And he's fighting tooth and nail, Doc and style. Bit of door rubbing and banging. But this is nothing nefarious indeed. Going for it now. Look at the drive he got out of that over Hackster, who just had to form back into the slipstream. Headlights ablaze. Full high beamage coming from Brendan Hack's car. But it is race on between these two. They're still going for it. Hammer and tong style. Nice racing. Clean, cool, calm and collected so far from the whole field. Murata's trying to get involved in this one too. Let's all go on board with Des for the first lap of his life here in the Misano circuit. Just trying to file his way through there, and that's Fergo in front of him. But it is one Fabian Fitness who has led this one clean and steady. But let me tell you what, Benny Hines is going to get past him. And oh my goodness, there's a car on the grid still sitting there ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, Fabian Fitness pulled off a fantastic move into turn 4. He managed to get a good run exiting turn 3 in the first couple of corners and managed to get himself up alongside I think a little bit unawares Benny Hines as well, because he didn't really look to be defending that one in the foreground of the shot when we were watching all the 3 wide and 2 wide battling in behind the leaders. But look at this. So Fabian's been able to get around, but Hines has not let him go. The gap is so close, and look at that in front as well. Tommy Corks has brought himself into this battle as well. Tommy Corks is on an absolute storm at the moment. He has gone from a few positions back of his starting position and down the inside. Oh, sorry, that was a defending move from Fabian Fitness. I thought that was going to be an absolute dive bomb from Benny Hines, but he was directly in front instead. And yeah, Tommy Corks, he's on an absolute charge, and you see him now applying the pressure to your pole sitter. So Hines is in a bit of a tricky position at the moment. Does he try and attack Fabian Fitness, or does he try and defend his P2 from Tommy?
Well, it's interesting to see what he's going to do, and they're just trying to snake their way down the back straight here at Misano, and they're racing very much like at sheep stations here, and it's the final lap of the race. Good stuff here from these boys, and it's race on, race on. Look at Benny Hines just trail braking through the corner. Different style to Fabian, who just lets it roll through, and Corks doesn't care. He's just on the brake and on the dance, on the oversteer, but it has worked for him in this one. Good little battle between these three. Hackster's just sitting there in the rear vision mirror. You can see him sitting there and just avoiding himself out of this battle at the moment. Just needs to sit there and try to keep the pace with these quick boys, because if this comes together, he's going to be in all sorts of an advantageous position. But it is still Fabian Fitness out in front. 37.7s, 37.9s, 37.8s are all the lap times for the top three. They are flying out there at the moment. This is incredible stuff, but the championship leader, Eagle, is out in front. Baron Hack in 4th place. Something to think about for him, though. He has definitely got to get his dance on, because that is a points advantage straight to Fabian so far in this one. And it is the closest little tussle on the circuit that we have got on our screens. Over from the chopper cam here at Misano, you can see how close Benny Hines is now. He's really on the back end of Fabian Fitness too. Is he going to go for a late lunge under brakes? No, he's not. Fabian's gone deep, deep, deep. Fabian just needs to put the anchors on a bit earlier there to try and keep himself in the lead position. Benny will be on the prowl here, absolutely dead set. He needs to get himself right up there, but the 3-wide battle here is just going off, ladies and gentlemen. That is a Benny Hines error. That's going to invite Tommy Corks up the outside of him. This is going to be a drag race now down the back straight, and I think Tommy Corks just has got the measure on him. Is he going to be able to take the inside line coming into the triple right-hander coming our way very shortly? Through that sweeper they go. Tommy Corks has just sat there and thought, no, bugger it, I'm going to keep going, but it is still advantage Benny Hines. Good racing from these boys, so clean, so fast and mean. And I'll tell you what, Pete, after the last 3 weeks of server issues, and we've got nothing of the sort here, no wonder these boys are racing clean, because they've got nothing to worry about and they've educated themselves.
Yeah, it is really gloves off now. They were driving, I wouldn't say conservatively, the last few weeks, as Hines goes extremely wide out of the final corner, but they were definitely driving with a little bit more caution when it came to car-to-car combat in the last few rounds with the server issues we were facing. But you can see they have wiped that clean off the slate, and they are now absolutely going at it. And a few mistakes now creeping in, because Tommy Corks has lost a little bit of his ground that he had made to the back of Hines, but he's still very much right there to pick off anything that happens. And when we were on the chopper cam, really, it's like a top 9 train that we've kind of got happening at the moment. So it's still very much anyone's game. You can see that train of cars on the mini-map down in the bottom corner as well on your screen as well. The top 9 have kind of bolted away from the rest of the field, so it's kind of a tale of 2 stories at the moment here in this first race, and it is still absolutely all to play for the lead of the race. 3 tenths separating your leaders, but this here is getting very tight now between Murata and Ferguson as well. So Ferguson sitting 3rd in the standings, so he needs to try and make up a few positions as well. He's now fallen 1.5 seconds behind equal first in the series, Brendan Hack. So he needs to make a little bit of a move on here if he wants to try and gain on the championship. And there's been a Nissan up ahead. That's Fitness and Hines. They have come together as well. That gives the lead to Tommy Corks. Brendan Hack now goes up into 2nd position. We're talking about him having to try and make up his way through the field, because it was advantage Fabian Fitness. That has been wiped out, because Fitness now down into 7th position. Hines, your pole sitter, down to 9th. And Tommy Corks, the big beneficiary of that, now takes the lead of the race. What happened there?
Scenes, absolute scenes. I reckon there was something in the old lag department coming their way, or Benny just got too ambitious under throttle and into a braking zone too. Goodness me, that'll be a story that we will never know about. But that is big advantageous position right now, championship-wise, for Brendan Hack. He'll be singing to the high heavens about that one, because he is now leading the championship here so far and in this round as well. This is a good little story here for him, what happened between those two. But we'll find out about that post-race. I can guarantee you at the moment, though, this is Alex McEwen going absolutely sensationally, is this man. And look at him just fang the back here of the Lyrical Gangster. Straight up the inside, he'll go into the braking zone, slams it down into 2nd gear, gets that move done beautifully. Lyrical Gangster had no lyrics to come back at him and give him a return serve from the East Coast, and McEwen just gallops off into the distance now for sure. He'll just defend this line coming into the double left right-hander their way, and fires it out the other side, easy as you like. And Fitness is trying to get his way back through the field here, and he does so. He got past the Birdman just there, as we were seeing, so a bit of redemption here now. Benny Hines, unfortunately, way back there in 9th, not where he wants to be. He'll be maybe a little bit sheepish there, because he was waiting for Fabian Fitness, Pete. Redress style, and I think it was maybe his fault on there, but it is now Tommy Cork's in the lead. McEwen and Ferguson behind Brendan Hack, your second place getter. Murata also in 5th place, but it's looking pretty racy here for McEwen. He's going to be all over the back end of Fergo here. We've got 6 minutes and 43 seconds left to go in the race, and I'm telling you now, watch out for this guy. He's smelling something, and it could be just on the brink, if not a podium here, Pete, for Alex.
Yeah, he's just doing 6-time champion things, isn't he? He's just jumped into the server. He's not really a driver who does a massive amount of practice. He can just kind of jump into anything and be right on the money, and that is exactly what we're seeing. He is carving his way through the field absolutely beautifully, and is now 100%, as you said, threatening a podium, and you can see the way he just dances the car around the corners. He knows exactly how to drive these things. He knows just how sideways they need to be, because it is all about being just the right amount of sideways. You know, you want to have a little bit of slippage in the rear tyres to get that rear end turned and pointed in the right direction to actually mash that pedal. And you can see how quickly on the throttle trace as well, he's able to get up to that 100% throttle. So watch this battle, because he will be hounding the back of Andrew Ferguson.
He will be, and it's going to be interesting to see how these guys do exactly that in the moves department. But it is now one advantage, Alex McEwen. Is Fergo going to give up a fight here? Is he just going to sit there and go straight and try to get the most pace? Because McEwen's sliding up into the slipstream now. Really, really racy between these two boys. And look at McEwen go. He's going to go for the switchback, but he can't get the job done. Fergo is defending lovely here at the moment. Good stuff there from these two, keeping it clean into the braking zone. And don't worry, Lyrical Gangster's going to get involved in that, because Fergo right now is that cork in the bottle. He doesn't need to be there. He doesn't need to do this sort of stuff and be over aggressive in the defense department. He just needs to drive it, and hopefully Alex McEwen can get past him at some stage and cleanly, because contact between these two will be absolute disaster, with Fitness now clawing onto the back of the Lyrical Gangster too. And he's going for it as well up the inside. Thinks about it. Can't feign the Gangster out of the way though. He's got no threat in the back of his mind. His fires are all focused forward here between this tussle that we've got going on. You can see it up there. It's brewing. Fergo, McEwen, Murata, Fitness on board right now, and you can see how aggressive Fabian is. He's angry at the moment. Yeah, look at that. That's a good move up the inside. Is he going to be aggressive up onto the go? As Kirby goes, he does do that. Lovely, lovely stuff there from the big man, but it hasn't worked because Murata got the better run out of that corner. But here comes Fabian. He's coming back at him into the slipstream. He's going to go for the inside move here, as easy as you like under brake. Surely here for Fabian. Does get that job done. Lovely jubbly indeed for him. Fires it out the other side. 5th place now. McEwen is going to start watching in his rear vision mirrors when he sees that thing coming, Pete.
Yeah, absolutely, because as good as we say McEwen is, you know, Fabian Fitness is also a 4-time champion of this series and your reigning champion. So it is a real battle of the titans brewing here in Misano. It's going to be Fitness versus McEwen very shortly, I reckon, but with just under 4 minutes left of racing, how is this one going to play out? Because in that battle with Murata, he did lose a little bit of time there. You can see the gap is over a second now if he wants to try and claim a 4th position, and it's very much one order to try and close in that gap. It's very much another one to overtake, as Alex McEwen's currently finding, because he made that ground to the back of Andrew Ferguson so quickly after dispatching Des Murata, but he hasn't been able to find his way through. Ferguson able to park the car exactly where he needs to, enough for him to be able to hold on to this podium. So Ferguson driving absolutely brilliantly, but he is holding up Alex McEwen at the moment, which is now going to put McEwen into the grasp of Fabian Fitness.
And on board we go here with the big man, because right now he needs to start charging his way. Every point counts here. It could be championship number 5 on the line here for Fabian Fitness as well. So we've got a 7-timer in front and we've got a 4-timer here on board at the moment. Look at these. This is racing quality on your screens here live worldwide on YouTube, global and trending, by the way, at Simsational TV. But it is unbelievable. Look at that from Fabian. Just thought about it. Couldn't get the job done. Back to second he goes. Up to 3rd gear now. Slaps it in there. He hasn't got the optimal run out of that corner though, so McEwen's going to be a bit safe now. Fergo is doing a great job though in 3rd place, and we know what a podium does in the Fergo household, and he's just about given it up there. I think he has to McEwen. Oh, he had the chockies sewn up with 2.5 minutes to go. It's going to be McEwen now who is going to be able to take this move. We're going to stick on board here with Fabian Fitness to get a driver's eye view of how this battle's going to go down. Fergo on the outside, McEwen on the inside. Green versus blue and silver here, and Fabian is just thinking about a double overtake if he possibly can. He can't. can't get the job done. Fergo still rolls through there, but boy, oh boy, in the fair dinkum department, that was a move from Alex McEwen. Straight around the outside, commitment done. Now Fergo's got his eyes full in a sandwich here, ladies and gentlemen. Dead set the meat in the 2 slices department of bread. They're between 2 very talented drivers. Is he going to blink? Is Fabian going to have to work for it, Pete?
I reckon Fabian's going to have to work for it. I don't think Ferguson's going to be making another mistake like that. He would be absolutely filthy with himself for doing something like that and allowing McEwen to take away that podium. As you said, podium's gone a long way in the Ferguson household. So the fact that he lost it in that fashion, he is going to be absolutely disgusted with himself. And so I don't think he's going to make it any easier for Fitness, maybe even make it a tad harder for Fabian to try and to get through. But this is something that has been brewing in the background while we've been watching the battles up and down the field. The gap out in front has been slowly coming down. The gap as it stands with a minute left of racing. So expect them to still get another lap in here, ladies and gentlemen, because they've only got the final sector left to go. So we're on the penultimate lap as it stands. And your gap for the race lead at the moment is half a second. And it is Brendan Hack, a driver who is very much on form. As I said, 2 race wins last round alone. And in the last 6 races, he has won 3 of them. So he's on a 50% success rate from the last 2 rounds, which is absolutely wild scenes here in the Wednesday Cup. And here we go. So Fabian Fitness has got himself past Andrew Ferguson. And now Ferguson maybe just fading a little bit in the dying stages of this race, because now he's got Murata all up behind him. And how is this one going to play out? We've already seen a little bit of carnage through here, but it's also been a very hot overtaking zone. Is Murata going to be able to get a move done into this braking zone? He's thinking about it. He's really thinking about it, but he can't get it done.
No, he did have a little think and a little bit of a twitch there as well. You saw the wheel work going on, but it is line astern. This is the gaggle of cars here right now for the last lap of the race. The 2 leading pack have crossed the start-finish line with the 10 seconds to go. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your view from the chopper cam, and it is all between Fitness, Ferguson, Murata, Crowther, and Benny Hines now. That is all 6 cars within the same shot there, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like here that Murata is a bit of a cork in the bottle. That was a big twitch there from the Birdman behind him as well. So is Benny Hines going to be able to come back through the field and claw some points as well into this one? Because at the moment, he's going to start off pole. It could be strategical just to sit there and hope that he doesn't get caught by that man right there, Clint Olive in the green car coming behind, and he will start off pole for the next one. But it's now a second out in front between Hackster and Corkman. And this boy here right now is in Tom and on the prowl for a P1 position in race 2 with the top 8 reverse grid coming our way shortly. And there's a good move there. Is he going to get the job done on Crowther? I think he is here too. He might just go for it as a racer does. He's on the wrong side of the track here though. Birdman's going to defend his position straight up the inside, and he gets that job done lovely there. He's going to get the better power exit out of there, and there goes Sam Bensley off the field in the background there as well. Not having the best night for him. He's now a lap down on the rest of them. Benny Hines got up to 7th place though, but it is this man, Tommy Corks here, Pete. He's going to take first blood here so far. Hopefully he can get through the last 2 turns here in race 1, but it looks like it's the Cork show to take first blood.
Yeah, he drove a brilliant race. We saw the charge that he was on very early on in the race, able to get himself up to 3rd and right behind your 2 race leaders before they came to blows. And he has taken full advantage of that as he crosses the line to take victory here in race 1 here at Misano for the Wednesday Cup, and celebrating in style. Brendan Hack only half a second behind for 2nd position. That's going to play greatly for his championship run. Alex McEwen will take home a podium as well for his a little bit of a wildcard entry this time around as well. And Fabian Fitness in the end, decent recovery to get himself up into 4th position. Ferguson rounds out your top 5, but top credits to Tommy Corks, because that was a brilliant drive to claim that race win.
Yeah, he did well. He took advantage of the Hines versus Fitness incident and got it there and commanded it in the end. Only half a second between himself and Brendan Hack, but he was probably doing a drifty on the last lap of the race on the final corner as well. Was Tommy Corks sealing the deal, and that is the guy at first blood. He's going to have to do it the hard way though. Race 2 coming your way, 16 minutes race 2, and a top 8 reverse grid. And have a look at that Tokyo Drift style action. That is just unbelievable. Look at them all behind. Fergo's getting involved too. Tommy Corks just slapping the handbrake on it and doing what he does best. But that is it. He's got the job done. Takes first blood. Lee Crowther's going to start off pole place with Benny Hines next to him in race 2. And these guys now will be finding their way for a bit of a break here. Just a little bit of something to think about, but it is Hackster who got this win in race 1. Tommy Corks, sorry. Brendan Hack does get race P2 in race 1. McEwen P3 in this one too. Fitness on song 4th, and 5th place goes to Andrew Ferguson. Lyrical Gangster there in 6th. Benny Hines 7th, who's already put it in the pits. Birdman gets an 8th place. 9th for Clint Olive, just missed out on that one there too for a pole position in race 2. Lauren in Anthony comes through and gets a lovely 10th place. The Haircut in 11th. Wallace 12th. Marzella 13th. Cook 14th. Turblanche 15th. Buttigieg in 16th has already exited the server. He had a shocker. Dante Zaya as well exited the server, and Lethal Baker there is the man to get the job done. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a race 2. We're going to get ourselves strapped in and ready to go. I hope you guys are enjoying it out there in YouTube land. I'll get to your comments very, very shortly here. But race 2, 16 minutes, top 8 reverse grid coming your way. After a quick word from our sponsors, you know what to do. Condiments refilled, strap yourself back in, get a vino, and we'll be back at Simsational TV in just a hot second.
Motto is that safe drivers are lifesavers. If your organisation shares this belief and are planning to improve driver education in your community, SDT Simulator Driver Training has the solution. Many of our simulator users are also gaining a revenue stream by taking their simulators to events and schools for driver education programs. The system can also be set up to run motorsport simulation. Many leading racing drivers are now using simulators to improve their skills. Such software can also be used to show drivers they are not as skilled as they think they are. SDT Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office. SDT simulators are now in use across Australia and are expanding into international markets due to their affordable price, unique features, and customization for driver training. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Contact Simulator Driver Training for more information.
Well, I hope those glasses are filled to the absolute brim because we are in for an absolute ripper of a second race. Going by the way race 1 went, that was fantastic racing up and down the field, and in the end it did go to the way of Tommy Corks after playing a very well-driven race to take advantage of things that happened outside of his control, being first and second, wiping themselves out, and him sliding on through to take the race win. So brilliant stuff from Tommy there to take that race win. Lines up in 8th position though, because this one is going to be a reverse top 8. And how do we think this one is going to play out, Zach?
Oh, it's going to be interesting to see, Big Pete, because I think these boys just settling in for a bit of a feisty race 2 coming their way, and I'm excited for that. We've got some people in the chat here. They're Multi Ninja having a quick question. What are these Ford Capris? They're Geminis, mate. They are off their dial and 100% in there. Good evening to Warren Baker. The cheese board's there, mate. Don't you worry about it. Dino Hanley, Fabs or Fergo, he says for race 1. What about race 2, son? Get yourself involved in that one. Give us your predictions. I reckon This could be Fergo's time to shine here if Benny Hines comes off the track, but it's going to be interesting just in the nick of time there. Fabian Fitness enters the chat for this one, Pete. It's going to be a good one, race 2. And with these boys settled in, it usually gets a bit more nefarious as the night goes on in the dead set fair dinkum department. But saying that, I think these boys are going to go pretty well here, and we are going to find out very, very shortly. The lights are up here for race 2, ladies and gentlemen. It's underway. Lee Crowther's going to take us off pole position. Is he going to get a good launch here? And it's go here for race 2, and he does get half a good launch. Benny Hines also had a good one too, but the lyrical gangster right behind him seemed to have a really good one too, with Fergo involved also as they file into turn 1 now. Around the outside, the both of them go there. Oh, there goes Benny Hines too. Already ambitious stuff there. Crowther's just going to block him off or not. No, he doesn't. There goes Benny Hines trying to seal the deal already, and at the exit of turn 3. Now it's turn 4, the right-hander. He's going to be in the perfect place, but Birdman comes out fat and singing to the high heavens. Into that one he goes. Has he got the optimum exit though? He'd think so. And look at these guys all swapping and toing and throwing here in the background. McEwen's involved. Fitness and Murata are all tussling between each other's position 2. It's still Crowther out there in front. You can see there. That's Benny Hines right behind him. There's Murata now. He's fighting for his place in 4th over Fabian Fitness, who did get past him in the end coming into turn 3. So good result here for Fabian so far in this race. What's going on back down here? Marzala and the haircut also trading blows. Very similar looking cars, but one's a Thomas the Tank Engine, the other one's a Simsational livery there as well. Corks and Hackster also going at it too. The P1 and 2 guys from race 1 there right now battling, and it's advantage Hackster here so far, and they've got to be careful because Corks has gone around the outside now, and he's got a good run. This is a really good little position here for him. Let's see what it looks like there. Hackster's gone behind. Corks has got the advantage over him. Fergo's trying to slip into Hackster's position there as well. Thinks about it twice as the big man rolls through into this braking zone, but look at Corks and Hackster and Fergo all dodging and nudging each other. They're door banging stuff. Fergo came out the worst. Clint Olive nearly got swiped up in that one too because Fergo was on the dance swap in the handbrake. But in the first lap of this race, leading it is Benny Hines. He's taken over P1 from Lee Crowther, Pete, and Fabian Fitness now is on the charge as well.
Yep, Fabian Fitness has really come out of nowhere, hasn't he? He was a little bit further down the field after finishing in 4th position. It was in race 1, but has already made his way beautifully through the field on this opening lap and now up into 3rd position. So he's going to be on for a decent result here, I reckon. If he's able to keep his nose clean, that is, we've already seen him involved in an incident in race 1 as he now sends it down the inside. How's this one going to play out on the Birdman? That is Lee Crowther. I'm sure when he's in amongst a battle, Lee has got Freebird on full blast inside of that Gemini to give him the motivation to stay ahead of Fabian Fitness, which is exactly what's happened. But it's had a bad exit though, and so now Murata is all over the back of him. You can see him in the rear view mirror, and Fabian actually goes slightly defensive there, and look at the slide from the Birdman. That's Lee Crowther on the slide all over the shot, goes wide, and now that's brought Fitness now up side by side with him, and they're going to battle once again side by side. How is this one going to play out? Before it went into the favour of Lee Crowther, and once again I reckon it's gone to the favour of Lee Crowther. But look at the gaggle of cars right behind them, because these guys battling is meaning everyone else is bunching up behind, and it is kicking off at the moment as now McEwen goes side by side with Murata through the back section of this circuit. Very fast right-handers that can really go terribly wrong if you make a little bit of contact with how light these cars get through the fast sections. And look how close this is. We've got 5 cars on the chopper cam shot. How close do you want it?
That's exactly right. This is Wednesday Cup Racing, ladies and gentlemen, in the Geminis. Fabian's just pulled away a little bit from there, from Alex McEwen. Birdman's gone wide on the apex. This is going to give Fabian a little bit of something to think about here. He's got a sniff, ladies and gentlemen, for P2, and he wants it big time off the Birdman. Is he going to get this job done coming into turn 1? No, he's not. He's just a little bit later on the brakes there. Good driving from the both of them. All the AstroTurf and curbage sausage style there for Birdman over Fitness. Now, Fitness has got a good little opportunity here to maybe take an advantageous move up the inside. Has he got the overlap there? I think he has on the Birdman. He's going to send it up the inside. Birdman gives him some beautiful space there as well. Flapped his wings and said, here's an arm length or a wing length there between you and me, son. Go for it. And he gets that job done. But now here comes Alex McEwen too. He's on the back of Lee Crowther trying to steal his 3rd place as well. And it's a 10th now. It's half a 10th there between the two of them. They're neck and neck, in fact, down the back stretch here of Misano. Up the inside. Look at Lee Crowther's driving standards there. Beautiful driving from the both of them. It's kicking off in the background there too. Fergo Hackster also involved. Mirada's trying to chime in on this battle too. We could have 5 or 6 cars here, Pete, within a heartbeat trying to fight over P3.
Yeah, it is brewing to be an absolute thrilling race at the moment. As you said, McEwen now got himself back up into another podium position, so he's going to be trying to make it back-to-back podiums here tonight with race 1 and race 2. But here is a driver that we were expecting to carve his way through the field of Andrew Ferguson, but unfortunately we saw him try and go 3 wide through this section of corners right here. Did not play out very well for himself. Went a little bit wide, somehow managed to gather it up despite the wheel work that we could see through the windows. And he was absolutely seesawing his way at the wheel. But take a look at this. This is Tommy Corks now, your race 1 winner, trying to get his way through on Brendan Hack. And how is this one going to play out between the two of them? Because Hack looked like he had a pretty good run. And look at that gap. It has slightly extended out, but the gap is still only 0.3 of a second between the two. All it takes is that back section where there's a bit of slipstream, and Tommy Corks will be back all over of that very fluorescent Brendan Hackmobile that is the number 30 Holden Gemini, and this is absolutely on for young and old.
It is absolutely dead set in the fair dinkum department here. In the age department, in fact, look at Hackster trying to get that thing turned in and go for the move on Murata. Can't get the job done. It is 4 tenths, 3 tenths, 2 tenths, all split between 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th as well, mind you. They're very, very much even Stevens. Hackster got a good run out of there, though, so he's going to be on prowl here, I reckon. This could be an opportunity. Up the inside he goes, sends it on the Lyrical Gangster. That is a perler of a move. Sealed the deal there as well, and just gave Tommy Corks a bit of a hello as well, because he's going to go for murderer's position as well. Goodness me, this is all happening here now, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the Lyrical Gangster fighting it back there between himself and Tommy Corks. They're going side by side out onto the back straightaway. They go now. Has the Lyrical Gangster got the run that he needs? I'm not too sure here. He's just going to have to still file back into that slipstream of the Gemini, into the first of the right hand as we come there. And this is a ripping part of the circuit. It is all opportunistic. Who can take the best run? Who's got the best line, the stability, the throttle control, the brake tracing, you name it. They're all going for it. And look at Hackster going on the back of Birdman, who's just sliding down the grid and has been sent away by Alex McEwen. So he's got no slipstream to battle for. This is now big time happening here for Tommy Corks. Look at him just filing this thing every which way he possibly can, gripping and ripping in this thing on the grip.exe Simsational TV car of Brendan Hack at the moment, doing a good job. Look at the race times there, 37.4, 37.3, 37.7 between 4th, 5th and 6th. These guys are now racing hammer and tong here, and look at that. That is a good piece of driving there from Tommy Corks. Just got the apex right, and he's got the whole rhythm and flow section correct there. He'll send it up the inside. Hackster saw him coming though, so now these two are fighting here. This is good racing. Fantastic stuff to see these boys going at it. No contact involved, but Hackster is just pedal to the metal, full counter steering wherever he can. That's going to be a bit of a tyre strategical masterclass for Tommy Corks. You can see him just struggling, and if he keeps doing that, he's going to overheat it. But this is fantastic stuff. Murata and Fergo nearly came together here too, coming into the back section here of Misano circuit. They're loving life of these two, having a good race. Pretty clean from everyone so far tonight, putting on a great show here and showing them how they can go clean, hard and fast and within millimetres there. That was nearly disaster for Tommy Corks as well. He just overshot that one too, and it's going to invite Murata and Fergo here, Pete, into it. And this is another snake, another trail here of suckage coming down the back straight of Misano.
Yeah, it is just quadrupling the more cars that will get into this, and they're just going to be starting to travel faster and faster, a bit like a big pack, or the main pack that you would see racing around the Daytona 500, which is coming up this weekend as well. Very excited about that. But back to the Wednesday Cup, because it is all absolutely kicking off, and you can see the car behaviour with a couple of the drivers at the moment. The cars are a little bit loosey-goosey, as you may say, and they are definitely starting to feeling maybe they're a bit more on the uncontrolled side of things, and they're just trying to hold on for absolute dear life and get the maximum lap time and get past a few drivers at the same time. One driver who's been very good at that, as I say, in the shot, he's just gone very wide, was Tommy Corks, because we've seen it on multiple occasions. He's almost got the rear end absolutely locked up, and he is just on the slide going into most of these corners, and it's beautiful car control, and he's able to make the lap time work because of it. And so that is just one thing to keep note of, is how these drivers are taking on these cars. They're absolutely one piece of machinery to handle, and you can see this is a battle that I don't think is going to get finished until we see the checkered flag, and that is Brendan Hack and Lee Crowther just ahead of him, because Crowther is going to be wanting to hold on to any position that he can absolutely get.
Yeah, he is. He's going to be trying to fight that way because Fabian Fitness, championship-wise, he's well in front of him here too. He got the chockies, and he's got the chockies done on that move. That was oversteery as hell there from the Birdman, and that's going to beat Brendan Hack easy as you like there. Tommy Corks is going to try and take Birdman's position here as well. So there's going to be P5 maybe taken away from Lee Crowther by Tommy Corks, who's hopped in the slipstream there of Brendan Hack too, firing it in here at 200 odd Ks an hour. Look at that from Tommy Corks. Thank you very much, he says, and he's on fire here. Look at the background though. You can see the Birdman just trying to fight it back here tooth and nail, and he's gone for it up the inside on Tommy Corks. He's fought gutso here, got the elbows out here, racing pretty hard, but plenty of racing room given between these two. Corks has got the inside run there, and he's got the double insider as well. This is cracking stuff here, but Birdman comes out in front of that one. That is a nice bit of racing, boys. Well done there. Fantastic stuff. All pedal to the metal stuff, and these cars are so twitchy as well under the steering wheel. They got the quickest rack in the world, and they still make it look buttery smooth at the best of times of these boys. Cracking racing here. Full commendation to you so far in this event here tonight here at Misano. Tommy Corks now literally going for it. Is he going to send it up the inside here? No, he's not. Birdman saw him coming like break deep, but now Corks has got the inside run. He's going to try and fire it out momentum style on the other side to come up to the first of the straights here at Misano after the main one. Has he got the run? He has it, in fact, and it's just starting to get a little bit feisty here, Pete, once again in the foreground. Virgo trying to get onto the back end. He's a little bit far away now from this man in front in the Lyrical Gangster, but that is Tommy Corks wide again. So his tyres are starting to sing to the high heavens in the old temperature department, Pete. This is going to be interesting.
It's very interesting indeed because we see the drivers get up to the back of the car. They either try and go for a move and they don't quite get it done, and then it invites other drivers in, or in the case that we've just seen in a couple of corners in a row, a driver makes a mistake, they become vulnerable, as we're seeing right now. Lee Crowther was slightly wide going through that previous corner, heading onto this big back straight, and that was turn 10 he made the mistake at. And now that has allowed Tommy Corks back through, but we saw him go back on the attack, and this time he's on the outside. Is he going to make an outside move work, or is he going to go for a switchback? He looks like he's trying to make something work out of this. He can't get it done, so Tommy Corks now through up into 5th position. Good drive from your race 1 winner here in race 2, and finds himself P5, but he has got some very hungry drivers right behind. So if we see another one of those little run wide mistakes come in from Tommy Corks, he is definitely going to be under attack from the likes of Crowther, Murata, and this guy, Andrew Ferguson, are looking like he's finally ready to try and make a move here on Des Murata, because he's tried a couple of times and he makes a small mistake, runs a bit wide, and has to make all of that ground back up again. But he can't be doing that for too much longer, because look at this in the mirror. You can see it. Clint Olaf is now getting himself into this party as well. So it's very quickly becoming a much larger train than we ever imagined.
Yeah, definitely. And it's now just going to be who blinks first, who gets that error and unforced department style. It's going to be interesting to see with these guys racing pretty much on the ragged edge now, with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in this race out of the 16 minutes gone so far. And they're doing a great job here, but when you're battling and toing and froing, all it does is just heat the tyres up, because you're darting the thing left and right. You're loading up each outside tyre, and then you're just trying to get the thing powered down, even though it's probably outside its grip limitations in the temperature department. So it does come at a cost if you're doing all this stuff, and these boys have been doing it lap after lap, week after week here in the Wednesday Cup, and they're going for it. Let's go back down the grid here too. Hey, we have Wallace there, because he is, we haven't called him tonight. He's been a bit far down the grid than where he would ideally like to be, but he's got Paul Buttigieg for him, his company in front. Paul is just defending for his life here. Wallace is trying to go for the old switchback Aru here. Can he get the suck down this straightaway? It's fairly even Stevens here, but he's got a little bit of a slipstream there to go. Olaf and Barber have also just come together as well, and they've traded places here too. So it is, oh no, they didn't. It was just a timing tower giving us an absolute heart attack. But William Wallace here trying to press the issue onto the Paul Buttigieg mobile in the Malta Racing there, but no luck for him. Buttigieg's also just climbing closely onto the back of Dante's Eye, who oversteered too much on the exit. He's going to give up his P15, and straight away it could be William Wallace going for it too. Wallace is trying to get involved in that. Now look at Turblanche come around the outside too. Look at this, 3 or 4 cars into the final turn here at Misano. Oh, that is unbelievable. Turblanche has gone Dakar Rally on the outside. Buttigieg tried to steal the deal there as well. He couldn't get the job done, and it's Dante's Eye who's come out, in fact, in front again after losing possibly 2 positions. He's got him back within a corner. This is battle for young and old here in the foreground. Goodness me, all the minor positions, ladies and gentlemen, but racing nonetheless. This is the action that we want here, Pete.
It is exactly the action that we want. Good, hard, clean racing. And for a moment there, I'm going to say, oh, and there's a bit of contact there with Paul Buttigieg running a little bit deep into the corner, makes contact with Hayden Wallace. Turbulence has kind of fallen off the back of this pack now, so I'm going to say, yeah, a bit of an issue going through the 1-2-3 complex, and now has fallen off of this battle pack. But this pack, that was absolutely mega. That was fantastic racing to watch, and very well timed there, Zach, with the TV cameras as well. So back to the front though, it's Desmerada all over the back of Lee Crowther. He is looking to try and take away this 6th position. Crowther has done really well. He hasn't plummeted down the field. He has held on to every position for as long as he possibly can before these guys start filtering their way through in front of him. And so holding on to this P6 has been a fantastic drive from the Birdman. I'm sure he would have loved to be a little bit further ahead, but we've got a few battles now starting to brew. So you've got Murata on Crowther. Corksy has caught up to the back of Brendan Hack. Still hasn't been able to find a way back through yet, though. That gap, it keeps fluctuating between about 7/10 of a second to as low as 3/10. I've seen it going through a few corners, so there's definitely a few stronger points for Tommy Corks around this circuit compared to Brendan Hack. But this battle, this is a very intriguing as well, because you've got Lee Crowther, who is, as you can see, riding on board. That car is getting quite twitchy. That car is definitely coming to the end of its life on the current set of tyres that it is on. Murata looks like he's got a little bit more pace, but he just can't find a way through, which I'm sure is going to be absolutely infuriating himself. But it is now the last lap of the race, because in these last 22 seconds, I don't think they're going to make it to the line, Zach.
They are not, Pete. The white flag will be out because at the moment, Benny Hines is now getting pressured by Fabian Fitness, but it could be too little too late. But they are coming into the triple right-hand section, so the timer is definitely going to run out. And it is going to be a possible victory here for Benny Hines. He's the man right behind here. Fergo going to get the run of his life, though, on these boys. Oh, it's getting close here in the final dying stages here. The timer has reached 0, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to see what happens to these boys and then cross over to the man who's going to take victory here. Fergo could get the job done. Benny Hines, though, is going to come through and take victory here, only by 0.5 of a second, though, over Fabian Fitness. As Fergo got the old job done there in the background, we'll see here. It's going to be a last lap, last corner dash here for Fergo. Can he get the overlap and cross it up into there and take Murder's position off him? No, he can't. Does everything he possibly can and just seals the deal there just by 1/10 of a second. But the winner here, ladies and gentlemen, is this man on your screen. Benny Hines takes P1 in race 2. A fantastic result from him. He will be very happy with that. Fabian will also be happy with that, with a P2, with Hackster sitting in 4th place. That is basically even Stevens there in the championship at the moment, I think, points-wise, between Hack and Fabian Fitness. Just punterinoing him. It's after the checkered flag, so it's a bit of fun there. But this is your winner, Benny Hines, Pete. That was a sensational race there, up and down the field.
It absolutely was, and as you said, this is really spicing up the championship, because you've now had Brendan Hack get a very good result race 1. P4 still a very good result in race 2, but the advantage went back to Fabian Fitness in the second one. So championship wise, this is really getting spicy, but can't go anything past the Benny Hines to claim that race win. So he has gone from pole position to the race win, second position to the race win here in race 2.
He did a good job. He had a big fight back coming his way from Fabian. And Fabian had pace, ladies and gentlemen. But it's going to be the hard gutso win coming his way if he wants to take it in race 3. It is final race of the night coming up, ladies and gentlemen. 17 minutes. Reverse top 12. This is going to be a big test for Benny Hines and for Fabian Fitness. Can they get through that pack cleanly, or is it going to be disaster from them? But it is that man who got second. McEwen still gallant in 3rd place, 5.5 seconds off, but still 2 third places for him. He'll be stoked with that. 4th place goes to the Hackster. 5th for Tommy Corks, our race 1 winner. Had a very, very feisty battle there at some point too, but it's all over, ladies and gentlemen, for that one. And that means race 3 is going to be up very, very shortly here at Simsational TV. Last one of the night. Strap yourselves in. Get set. 17 minutes. Reverse top 12 coming right up. Don't go anywhere. Forms and expertise in getting the best gear. Simsational TV has proudly partnered up with Speed Nation. It is New Zealand's go-to destination for high-performance sim gear. They also stock the best and biggest brands in the game, from Thrustmaster, Moser Racing, Next Level Racing, Sparko, Turtle Beach, and more. And whether you're looking for the ultra-responsive racing wheels or pro-grade flight controls, immersive audio, or rock-solid cockpits, I'll tell you what, Speed Nation has got it all. They also carry other trusted names like Butt Kicker, PT Actuators, Wheel Stand Pros, Gen Ace, Spectrum in the remote control field, and also Collective Mind. So every step and part of your setup is covered, from complete racing rigs and premium flight packs. We here at Simsational TV, back in Speed Nation, to deliver the gear that takes your experience to the next level. Fast shipping, trusted brands, unbeatable quality, and I'll tell you what, Speed Nation has it all. And as an excellent gift for all of our viewers tonight and members out there of Simsational TV, and if you're trying to get into racing, go to the checkout, buy some stuff off Speed Nation, because if you buy any full price product on the website, enter the code Simsational, that is SIMSATIONINAL. Oh my God, I can't even speak. And you will get a 10% discount off your end cart price. So go in there.
10%? 10% did you say, Zachary?
I did say 10%, mate. I did not say 5. I did not say 4. I said 10.
Wow.
Hoi hoi, welcome back, tax dodgers. It is time for the final event of the night here in the Wednesday Cup. The second last round of the championship too, by the way, here in season 21. That is how long it's been going on for here. Unbelievable scenes. And it is one man off the front row, Hayden Cook. No livery, no worries for this man. That's my fault on my end, by the way, but let's just pretend he's so rich. In fact, he is so rich in the real life. He doesn't even need to bloody have sponsors. He'll just whack some plates on that thing and put it back onto the trailer. Tommy Marzella there gets second place for that one. Clint Olive third. 4 for the haircut. 5th for Andrew Ferguson in this one. 6th for the Lyrical Gangster. 7th for Crowther. 8th for Tommy Corks. 9th for Fabian Fitness. 10th for Benny Hines, which is all incorrect because there's cars adding themselves to the grid. McEwen's just chimed himself in. It is a reverse top 12 here tonight. Predictions, ladies and gentlemen, for the last one of the evening. Get there in the chat, Pete. But this is going to be a rip snorter. I'm excited. And 17 minutes, top 12 reverse grid. It's going to be carnage, or is it going to be clean stuff? You tell me.
I really hope it's going to be clean, but I reckon with some of the big names right down the field with the reverse top 12, we're going to be on for a little bit of carnage. Hopefully nothing too bad, but we're ready to get started for the final one here tonight. It's 5 red lights, and we are off for the final race here at Misano, and we are off, and it is a very good start for Hayden Cook. He is going to go unchallenged into turn 1. That is how good of a start that he's had. He still gives a little bit of racing room just in case if there was a bit of a dive bomb coming in from behind from that man on screen, Thomas Marzella, and look at them all filtering through behind. They're going 2, 3, 4 wide and trying to make themselves get through cleanly. A little bit of a tussle up there as well. A few cars going off wide, and that looked like it was Brendan Hack and Fabian Fitness now also losing positions as they have to now filter out into the outside lanes, the less than ideal area to be in. But if you can hang it around the outside, You do get the inside going on to this little back straight here, and look at them all, still trying to find the right piece of real estate. We've got cars off. That's Paul Buttigieg and another car that's gone off in the background, and it's Anthony Lawrence. So they have had an absolute shocking first sector, with them both finding the fence right at the back. So a bit of a mishap there between the two, both of them off into the gravel and into the bunda, and they are done in this first race. They're right out the back and will have to work really hard to get themselves back to the back of this pack. And it is Fitness now trying to make the move up into 11th position, and he is holding the fort down a little bit as he now travels side by side with Benny Hines. And this is going to get interesting. A real two titans of this series. Both of them have won championships in the Wednesday Cup. So we are in for an absolutely thrilling battle, and you can see some people getting a little bit stitched up ahead and being thrown out wide. I reckon that was Lee Crowther having a little bit of a moment there just in front as well. So cars going every which way, and that's Hayden Cook. He was your race leader. He's off. So what's happened there?
I don't know, mate. He's had a bit of a mare there, unfortunately. Was it a murder from this man? I don't know. But just cold tyres, who knows, in this one as well for this one. But look at Tommy Corks go. He's got the cheese board up the inside. Thank you very much, Mother, for the rabbits. He says starting lap 2 here. But look at the cheese board. Just absolutely flings some off blue cheese at the windscreen of Tommy Corks. Comes back through and defends that 4th place so far. But for how long? Here's the next question. Look at them racing side by side. Door banging. Marzella's gone too deep into there. Tommy Corks is going to go straight back up the inside for the old switch back there. Door banging and wheel rubbing, guard racing as well. Look at this stuff between these guys. And there goes head of the cheese board. Out too wide, too ambitious. McEwen's going to get involved in that one. Marzella's going to lose a possible position here too as he goes side by side. Yes, he does. Marzella just singing in. There goes the Birdman up the inside too. They're all prowling all over the cheese board here. So close. Look how millimetre perfect that was in terms of overtaking. And Fitness has also got the job done on Brendan Hack and Benny Hines. 2 for 1. There is the cheese board up in front defending. Oh, that was fantastic. Look at them all sliding it. And the cheese board versus McEwen is on like Donkey Kong here. Cheese board just finding his way through it here. He's fighting tooth and nail. This is his championship. He's winning here at the moment. Drag Race leading it down the back straightaway here. Triple right-hander coming his way. Look at Fabian Fitness get up beside Alex McEwen there too. And Lee Crowther involved as well. This is a 4-car, 5-car suck train here. And it's Marzella who's gone real wide, but he'll fang it back in here. Finally, just gets that job done, but has he gone too wide here for the rest of them? McEwen's going to hand him like an absolute big ragged bull. Goes up the inside, goes for that overtake and nearly punched Marzella off too. Goodness me, it's nearly up to the final corner, and 3 or 4 cars, and there goes Fabian Fitness around. Has he caught it? No, he hasn't. He is sending the wrong way and gets collected in the meantime. Too ambitious, too overzealous there from all of them. Something was going to happen, Pete, and boy, oh boy, the biggest loser on your screen right now.
Yeah, we saw in the second race, 3 wide doesn't work into the final corner, and point proven. Yet again, 3 wide does not work going into turn 16. Unfortunately for Fabian Fitness, went around backwards and then collected by Turbolanche as he went on through. And the 3 wide once again, that was not circuit racing, ladies and gentlemen. That was pack racing. There were so many cars right there within inches and centimeters and millimeters, or whatever unit of measurement you want to use. They were right there in amongst it and battling it out, and some fantastic moves were being pulled off. And unfortunately, because of that little mishap, the field has now been spread out just a little bit, but we've still got a very healthy pack. And a look at the slide, you know, that Marzella was just on as well, caught it very nicely, but he has got some very, very quick cars right behind him that he's going to be trying to defend from. And look at the slide from McEwen as well. So he is really pushing this thing as fast as it can go. He is pushing the boundaries of physics when it comes to these Geminis, and now we're back side by side.
Look at these boys go. Absolute scenes here. Look at McEwen. Commitment around the outside on Hines. Just has to just do something. Full commit or pull out. There's no halfway. You can't be a little bit pregnant going around that bit there, ladies and gentlemen. It is all or nothing. And that is exactly what McEwen did. He sent it on the high heavens on Benny Hines there. Now he's got the cheese board in front as his next target on the road. Cheese board's been putting up a good defence here for these boys. But McEwen is a cool, calm, collected customer. And you can just see what happened to the cheese board. See you later. goes Marzella. That's going to be Benny Hines past him as well. Big losing of positions there for the big man. I can't even English tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry. Wallace is trying to get himself back into it. Hines and McEwen are going at it too. Hines has got the advantage over him, but he's on the wrong side of the track here for the two right-handers coming his way. It is neck and neck. Two Leviathans here of the Wednesday Cup going at it. Hammer and tong here. Look at the commitment from McEwen and Hines. Racing room given. Easy as you like. That is how you do it. That's how the pros go racing there, ladies and gentlemen. No need for door rubbing. Just try to find the optimum line. Powered out the other side. And off they go. Unbelievable stuff. Wallace is in 9th place, just behind the cheese board now, but this is a good little tussle. Is Hines going to send up the inside? He does it on McEwen, thinks about it again, gets himself settled in, put the power down early, get that ultimate exit out the other side, and look at Marzella in the background losing it as well. Fitness and the haircut also just came together, but Fitness came out on song again, so he's right up there. Hackster is in 13th place. Unfortunately for him, his championship lead now has gone if this keeps going on. Turblanche has also got past the haircut there as well in poor old Neville. He's gone right up there into this one. He's going to do a good little battle there in the P15-16 position, but got yeeted out wide. Marzella's fighting him back though here in race 3. Goodness me, this is commitment once again. They're all having a go. Wallace and Marzella have also traded places, but here comes Marzella back up the inside for the switchback. Thinks about it. Wallace goes a bit wide there, just files off and rubs the old nose back into his face there. Thank goodness for that. They didn't come together, Wallace and Marzella. It's happening up and down the field here, Pete. We've got battles everywhere here. Fines and McEwen are going at it once again.
Yeah, absolutely. The gloves are off for this final one. There is no fear of, if you fall outside of a top 8 or top 12, you're going to be starting further down the field. So they are absolutely going at it, as you said and described it. Hammer and Tong, they are going for this one. They are trying to make up any position they can possible, and if that means going for a bit of a dive that they usually would go for, they're going to go for it this time around, because it's almost like there's I'm not going to say there is no consequences. There's still consequences, but they're not going to be playing as large as it would if it was to happen in race 1 and 2. But look at the run that is here for Fabian Fitness. He had a brilliant exit coming out of turn 6 and now through the kink of 7 and into the braking zone of 8. He goes to the inside. Marzella's been a bit loosey-goosey around this corner and on show once again. You can see him having a bit of a tank slap as he caught the curb, and that allows Fitness just to cruise on through, and he is finding his way through the field pretty nicely, considering only a couple of laps ago he was backwards at the final corner and being collected by another car as well. So nothing really ruffles the feathers of Fabian Fitness for him to be able to do this. But back to the front, we have now got a 4-car train, ladies and gentlemen, for the lead of the race. It's Ferguson from Desmerada, Clint Olive, and Tommy Corks is on the charge, made his way through the field, and it looks like he might be trying to shape up another overtake here. Doesn't go for it this time. This final corner can prove to be a good overtaking spot, but you have to have conviction when trying to go for the overtake, and I don't think he was 100% committed and ready for that one yet.
No, but he's still looking for it. Here is Tommy Corks. Good stuff there from these two. Just clean, hard, and race ready is Clint Olive and Tom Corks. And it's good to see the big man up there where he needs to be in that green car just in front. He's a quick driver, Clint Olive. Gets caught up in a fair bit of nonsense where he doesn't want to be. But when he's out there, he is a very hard customer to pass. So don't you worry about that on the racing department. These two will go at it hammer and tong. And it is story of the evening so far. Well, just as we said it, Fergo was leading this race by 1.2 seconds, but the Lyrical Gangster is coming back at him. It's been a murder there on Fergo's behalf in the old dead set Mazed point, because here comes Lyrical Gangster now. It's only 3/10 for the lead of the race. Oh, Fergo, don't bottle it again, son. You had a podium, lost it. Now you got a race win to get. Let's do it. Let's keep it behind, because Lyrical Gangster here is looking pretty racy, just sliding it in on the angle, coming out the other side. And if these two start battling, I'm telling you now, this could be a 4-way battle for the lead of the race. It's happening. Tommy Corks is also just trying to get back into the suck here of the big Clint Olive, quick Maz as we like to call him. He's sending up the inside, thinking about it, going left, going right, going upside down nearly there as well, pointing it in the wrong direction there. Could have been disaster. There goes the fate of Clint Olive. Up the inside goes Tommy Corks, slides it in there, full commitment style. This man's on the charge. Race 1 winner, looking for another one here in race 3, Pete.
Yeah, and this is a really bad news as well if you're Ferguson or Murata, because I reckon the driver with the most pace so far this entire evening has been Tommy Corks. He didn't quite get it done in the qualifying session to try and claim a pole position, but he was well and truly in amongst the hunt for that pole position time. So he, I reckon, has been the driver with the best consistent pace so far this evening, and he is showing it once again. So that is not the car you want to be seeing in your rearview mirror if you're going to start battling it out for a race win. And up and down the field, it's kind of fizzled out just a little bit, but with, as the Wednesday Cup always goes, there's maybe a lap or two of a lull as everyone kind of gathers their thoughts, backs up, get the tyres back down into the better operating window, because driving these cars is very hard. As we've mentioned multiple times so far, these tyres will overheat, and then you start getting a bit loosey-goosey and you start making the mistakes. So they're kind of in at that stage at the moment where they'll take a lap or two, they'll get those tyres back into the window, and then they are going to go at it, I'd say, in these last 5 minutes with just over 6 now left remaining. So it's only going to be a matter of time, and this thing will absolutely kick off like an atomic bomb.
Oh, yeah, well, don't you worry about that, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening here for the chef, our pole sitter here in this race. Unfortunately, I think unforced errored himself out of a potential P1 for him. He just lost it on the final 2 turns of lap 1. And now he's way back down the field in 17th place, unfortunately for him. But this little gaggle of cars here, P1, 2 and 3, is just starting to edge a little bit closer here. It's under 4/10 average split between the 3 drivers. Fergo's just trying to put in hot lap after hot lap here and not be distracted by that black and red thing coming in his rear vision mirror at the moment. But it's a hard thing to know how to go racing and keep it consistent when you do have that thing in the back of your mind, as well as trying to keep it on the line also. So it's a big strategical advantage if you can keep yourself cool, calm and collected. And the quickest man on that last lap by an absolute country mile was Tommy Corks. Goodness me, at 36.8. Everyone else was doing 37.5, 37.7s. He is on the charge here, Tommy Corks, and he wants that win once again for 2 out of 3 here tonight. That's on his cards here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you worry about that.
It is absolutely on as well. And one thing I'm absolutely fascinated with is the way that Tommy is driving this car at the moment. Just look at the way he's sliding it into the corners. It's almost as if he's constantly tugging at that handbrake as to try and just get the thing on the slide, to try and get it pointed into the right direction going into the corners. And look at that, you can see him dancing on the steering wheel. He's really on the grip limitations every time he's on the brakes, and it's fantastic to watch the absolute car control that he has got here tonight. And he is really on song with this car, and once again pretty much power sliding it through the corners. And just look how much time he's able to make through the corners as well. The exit isn't probably as good as he wants. You can see Murata slowly drifting a little bit further ahead, but only by about half a tenth or so at the moment that he's been able to gain. So the exits aren't probably 100% quite there, but going into here especially, watch the steering wheel. He is going to be on a huge slide as he comes into here. Opposite lock, opposite lock, opposite lock. Still trying to catch it, still on the opposite lock. And look at all the time he's able to gain. And that is where he's making up his lap time. It's in the brakes, and that is where he's going to be making those overtakes as well. So watch for an overtake coming very shortly. Murata really sends it through there on the brakes as well. So maybe he's figured it out as well. That's Tommy Corks. That's his strong point, and it's the brakes.
It is, and that's why he set the purple sector 3 there as well. That was just beautiful slip angle there from the man, and he's on the prowl. 0.3 of a second is the gap now between himself and P2, and it's under a second for a race win with 3.5 minutes left to go in this 17-minute up. It has been a brilliant evening of racing here tonight. The boys have done a great job keeping it tight-knit and pretty hard racing in close quarters convincingly as well, just putting on a show. A couple of mares at the final turn, but it doesn't matter. These guys have put on a great show for us tonight, and we're loving it. It's just petered out a little bit. 0.5 of a second now. Here's the battle here for P1, 2 and 3 on your screen. Fergo, hey, is leading. Murata is second. Corks is third. Clint Olaf, 1.9 seconds just in the foreground there behind in 4th place, with the Birdman and Hines all split by at least 2.5 seconds all the way down to McEwen. But Tommy Corks here really going for it. 2 minutes 50 left. 1 minute 37 laps. That's how much we got. We got 3 laps left to go here, I reckon, ladies and gentlemen, including this one. For this one, and he's got a good run. It's 2.5 of a second now between himself and Murata. Murata is driven also very well in this race. He's just now got to defend off that P2 position from a very fast approaching Tommy Corks. And if Fergo can just keep it within that gap out in front and not let Murata come back at him. Oh, Corks is just on the slide there. Too much throttle. Fergo, as I was saying, can be a benefactor of that battling as Hayden Cook lets everyone go past behind him. If these two start battling, it'll release Fergo, and he could be on for another P1.
Yeah, he will be absolutely loving the idea of getting another race win. He actually has been able to get a race win so far this season, but yet the consistency finds himself still inside the championship hunt here at this penultimate round of the series. So it is absolutely on, and this could be a massive talking point in the championship when he finally gets his first race win of the season. He's had plenty of podiums, but he hasn't broken through to grab the gold just yet. But once again, Tommy Corks on the slide in the brakes, and I think he's starting to get the exits now as well. I reckon Murata is starting to feel the pressure of being the middleman, really. Do you go for the attack? As he's now on the slide, is he going to be able to hold it? He does hold it, but it makes him run very wide. I reckon Tommy Corks nearly followed him through there as well, but it was definitely a big enough slide to bring up a bit of tire smoke. Does this open up the door for Corks to try and get on through? He looks to the outside, but he's going to try and see if he can't get the exit now. And how's this one going to play out? You can see he definitely does have the exit. He's already looking to try and get out the slipstream, tucks back in, tucks back out. He might go for yet another little bit of slipstream as well. No, he's actually got a good enough run that he's going to try and send it side by side through these fast right-handers. How is this one going to play out? Is it going to end in a disaster, or is it going to end in an overtake? But look at that. Murata also all over the back of Ferguson. This is a battle of the ages, and they're going to be able to cross the line for us to get one more lap of this action as well.
Yeah, good stuff, and you can see it here. Final lap of the race, ladies and gentlemen. 40 seconds to go as they cross the start-finish line, and it's going to be interesting to see if Fergo can hold on. It's 2 tenths now between this man and the race leader right there in front of you. Can they get the job done as they come through into the white flag lap of this final session here in Wednesday Cup at Misano Circuit? It's been a pearl of an event, but it's Fergo now. Can he hold on for a race win? Benny Hines has put it in the pits afterwards as well, so he's out. And he's called it quits too early there, unfortunately. But Fergo right now feeling the pinch. So is Murata here as well from Tommy Corks right behind him. He's got to get a good run here as well. Fergo's got to get a good run, and he's just gapped them both by about a tenth there has Fergo. But look at the Murata just holding on for dear life from an ever fast charging Tommy Corks coming at him. Fergo now needs to think about how he's going to go racing. Let's have a look from the rear end of his car as well, because it is now Murata's chance to get an ultimate exit coming up, because we've got one hairpin to go here, and it means if you stuff that one up, you are going to be absolutely sucked off down the back straight away here. You do not want that to happen. Oh, Fergo's just on the slide there. Is that going to hurt his exit? And there's a little bit. Is it going to be enough here for Murata to get the suck? It is. He's edging closer and closer. You can just see it happening and happening so far. Is it going to be a three-way battle here for the lead of the race here and for the final couple of corners? Peter, it's up to you, mate. It's all yours.
It is going to be oh so close as well. Tommy Corks is looking to the inside of Murata. How's this one going to play out? And it looks like he's going to send it down the inside. Does he make it work? No, he doesn't. Murata much better on the brakes this time around. Does he have the run to try and go for a last corner dive bomb? It is an overtaking opportunity, but I reckon he's just a little bit too far back. And it looks like they're going to stay line of stone unless one of them messes up the final corner. But so far, it looks like they've all played it to perfection. And your top three, ladies and gentlemen, are going to be separated by less than half a second, and it's going to go the way of Andrew Ferguson to take the race win. First race win of the season. Murata will take a second position. Fantastic drive from himself. Tommy Corks will round out the podium to take 2 podiums this round. So fantastic work from Tommy as they now all celebrate. And to round out your top 5, it's Clint Olaf and Lee Crowther. Fantastic drives from those two, only 2.5 and 3 seconds behind respectively. So they were there and thereabouts with the race leaders. So don't be fooled with what the timings say. The pace out there was immaculate.
It was rapid out there, and boy oh boy was that a finish for the ages there in race 3. Fergo has got his win, ladies and gentlemen. Christopher Munro just out for dinner tonight. He'll be coming home to probably the road being blocked off and a big siesta coming the Fergo household's way. They live about 600 metres from each other, and a podium at the best of time in the Fergo household means the old leg roll over is coming his way. But tonight, I think that's the last thing on his mind. He's going to be absolutely celebrating here. Hammer and tong, tooth and nail stuff is the big Fergo Meister, and he takes the final race of the evening as the winner. And rightly so. He did a great job, kept himself clean, mean and fast in this big man, and a big congratulations to him. Big also congratulations to Des Murata, P2 for him, his podium position. I think it's the first of the season if I'm not incorrect. Tommy Corks gets a win and gets third place. For me, that is driver of the day stuff there, and he gets that award too. Tommy Corks, a P1, a P3 for him, and the showman of the night as well, just showing exactly how you can drift these things and link them every single corner. No wonder he's good on the slip angle there, Pete. He is unbelievable, but what a race, what an event. Clint Olaf got 4th in that one. He'll be stoked as a goat with that too. Birdman will also be very happy with 5th. Fitness will be pretty okay with 6th place, knowing that Brennan Hack, his main competitor, got 8th place, a position behind him, off this man, Alex McEwen, as well, who is getting a push there from Tom Marzella. There's Hackster as well, so we'll look out for the points in the next round, the final round coming our way next week, by the way. As also, Brody Barber, top 10. He'll be happy with that as well. So will William Wallace. Had a bit of a rough start to this event, but gets 10th in the final one. Benny Hines pitted in 11th place at that. Marzella, 12th place. We had a good tussle from him in the opening stanza. Anthony Lauren gets 13th. The chef from P1, unfortunately for him, gets 14th place. Sam Bensley, 15th for him, top 15. He'll be stoked with that too, will that man. But he's gone. He's exited the server. Turb Blanche, 16, burning the tyres off it. Dante Zaya, 17th. Paul Buttigieg and Logan Baker, the early casualties in that one, Pete. But that was a great event. For me, give us your out of 10 rating, Pete, in the old racing department for tonight.
I think that was absolutely fantastic. I'm going to give it a solid 9.99999 recurring, because that was just had absolutely everything. And I reckon even having a 3-car battle for the race lead, that was just it was absolute cinema, you would say.
It was beautiful, and these guys know exactly how to do. All the chat was out there and enjoying it. Will Kirk chimed in there at the end. Cheeseboard and Chef had a run in. He reckons Bradley Cairns as well got in. Is he legit drifting that? Yeah, he is, mate. Don't you worry about that. It's unbelievable. He's got the handbrake button mapped to perfection there as well. And what a race. Great racing and great commentating, says Captain Kirk. Thank you to everyone out there. Was Baker, Dean Hanley, Nick Mallow as well, Multi-Ninja in the chat there too. Fabs got involved. Hayden Wallace was also in there too. A couple of races getting involved in the chat. But that's it. We're all done here, ladies and gentlemen. That is a fantastic event. Been a pleasure to call the action alongside Pete tonight for you guys. And boy, oh boy, the season finals next week, and that is going to be a rip snorter. But thank you to our sponsors here at Simsational TV, ARD Importing, Bilco Pack, Speed Nation, Simulator Driver Training. Big thank you to all of our sponsors there. Big thank you to our chat members. Big thank you to everyone who watches and our Patreon supporters as well. This has been a great event. Pete puts the Clark in Clark Rubber, and he also puts the M in Magnificent as a commentator. Thank you, Pete. Good to be calling the action with you tonight. And from us here at Simsational TV, I'm Zach O'Reilly. It's been a Simsational TV production. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do. Keep it flat out.
Simsational TV YouTube channel. Don't fucking miss it.